Drill sequence. To become a more efficient runner, run-in technique is crucial. And where that style and technique comes from, it comes through your drills. So, to get the most out of your drills, I've put together a drill sequence I'd like you to follow. The first step of this sequence is slow to fast. With any new movement, exercise or drill, initially I'd like you to start off slow. Perfect that movement, then as soon as you feel comfortable with it, start training at pace. If you train too slow, too frequently at training, this slow movement will become a habit, and this will affect your stride frequency. This will affect your speed, and this will transfer into game day. The only way to run fast is to run fast. So training at speed, high velocity training, is the most effective training that a sprinter can do, and should be the backbone of their training program throughout all phases of their training. Next to the sequence is simple to complex, and then it's predictable to unpredictable, and then low level to high level plyometrics. Now let's show you some examples of those. First of the sequence we're going to show you is slow to fast. The example I'm going to show you of slow is the A march. As you can see, it's very controlled, and one foot is always planted on the ground, concentrating on high knees, dorsiflexing the toes of the foot that's elevated, coming high onto the toes of the foot that's planted on the ground, shoulders back and down, and concentrate on good posture. An example of a fast drill and a progression of the A march is the A skip. As you can see, the movement is similar to the A march, but a lot more dynamic, a lot faster. With the A march, the foot is always planted on the ground, but as you can see, this one, clearly the foot is leaving the ground with every stride. The next sequence is simple to complex. The drill I'm going to use for a simple drill is the A march again. This one requires little mental processing, balance, or coordination. This is a great one for a beginner to start off with. The drill I'm going to use for an example for complex is called the karaoke. This requires a lot of mental processing, balance, coordination, involves lateral movement. It's a great one to improve flexibility through the hips, footwork for agility, lateral speed, and you can see it's clearly an advanced drill. The next of our sequence is predictable to unpredictable drills. The main difference between predictable and unpredictable is predictable drills can usually be performed on your own, whereas unpredictable drills are best performed with a training partner or a coach. A predictable drill is one that the person performing the drill determines the direction or the movement, whereas unpredictable drills, the coach or the training partner determines the direction or the movement by means of visual cues, responding to an object like a ball or a person, or hand gestures, or auditory cues like a blow of a whistle or clap of a hands or someone's voice. Unpredictable drills are good for improving agility, quickness, and reaction time. The ones I'm using here are the T drill. The first one, I'm performing this by myself, and then I do the same drill but with a training partner. The next sequence is low level to high level plyometrics. If your sport requires you to generate a great deal of force in a short amount of time, you have to incorporate some form of plyometrics into your program. Plyometrics are usually any form of activity where you have a sudden impact or contact with the ground. So activities like jumping, hopping, skipping, and even running is a form of plyometrics. But in saying that, plyometrics doesn't have to be limited just to our lower limbs. An example for an upper body plyometric would be our clap push-ups or throwing and catching a medicine ball. The example I'm going to use for low-level plyometrics is my ankle hops. It's a great drill for beginner. As you can see, not a great deal of mental processing, coordination or balance, and is a good introduction to activities and drills with a small amount of impact involved. The example I'm going to use for a high-level plyometric exercise is my single leg hops over hurdles. As you can see, this is a very advanced exercise and definitely would not prescribe this for a beginner. It requires a lot of balance, coordination, and strength. Now let's summarize what we just went through, the drill sequence. We started off with slow to fast drills, then we went simple to complex, then predictable to unpredictable drills, then finally finished off with low level to high level plyometrics. Now looking at these drills, as you can see, they're different form of drills, but you may notice they're progressions of each other. So we could break this down into two columns. The column on the left hand side you could say is more the beginner drills. The column on the right hand side is more advanced drills. And if you had an intermediate athlete, they could do a combination of both columns. So knowing this will help with your exercise selection and your programming. So as a trainer, through your assessments and your screening, you'll be able to know where your athlete's at, and it'll give you a direction of how to design your program for a beginner to intermediate to an advanced athlete.